really tired today. Been having trouble at work. Luckily, it's the end of my work week, and tomorrow I'm gonna have completely off. I need to do some organizing around here tomorrow. I'm gonna be able to get an hour of practice in on clarinet before work. Uh, Kind of upset. I slept through jazz band today. I'm just that out of it. The concert's coming up at the end of the month, so I gotta get some trombone practice in. I've kind of been neglecting that area. But I still think it's important that I play clarinet every day. And while I do enjoy trombone, I think I might enjoy clarinet more. It's elegant. I really like this instrument. Uh, Trombone, I don't know, I just don't really feel it anymore. I don't think I ever did. I think in middle school, I decided I wanted to play a wind instrument, trombone. You see, my older brother played trombone in high school, middle school, and I think I just wanted to copycat him. In general, the whole music thing. My older brothers did music, and for a while I think I was just doing it just because I thought I was expected to. But eventually I found music on my own, and now it's my own. So, you know, I don't own a trombone, so that's kind of what's upsetting me. I can't really afford a decent trombone. I don't want to buy a $100 one like I did for clarinet because I'm just starting clarinet, so it's not really that big of a deal to me. I know I'm going to upgrade later if I stick with it, which I think I will through college. Um, but trombone, I've been playing. I've played it for about 5 years of my life, and I took a 10-year off. But I'm starting to get back into the feel of it. And if I'm gonna buy one, I'm gonna buy at least an intermediate one, probably more on the $800 mark, upwards. $800 is the minimum, and that's like if I play test it and it's good and it's $800, even if it's less than $800, if it's good quality to me compared to other ones in that range, if it's less expensive, then that would be awesome. But most likely, I'm not going to find a good one less than $800 that would be good enough for me. I probably want not a bass trombone to start with, but not just a straight tenor. I'd kind of like having the F trigger because it gives me a little bit more security for if I need to do low notes I can, and also if I want to do alternate positions I can use the F trigger and I can get different notes out. For me it's just a little bit more versatile. It would be nice to have a tenor trombone and a bass trombone, but a straight tenor just so I can have like the sound quality in case I needed to. But eventually I'll have a straight. Eventually I'll have a nice collection of different instruments. Right now I can't really afford that, so most bang for my buck would be a tenor with the F trigger, maybe a large bell. I'm not sure. Eventually have an alto trombone also for some of those classical pieces. I really love music. I really love playing music. I love playing with people. I love working with people. Uh, it's just, to me it's the ultimate the ultimate in collaboration, because you can achieve real results, uh, and you communicate through music, and it's just really beautiful to me. Um, oh, this is the wrong reed. I'm rotating my reeds. I just played the last practice section. It was a little shorter than usual. Usually I practice for an hour. I have work in about an hour and 15 minutes. And I'll have to leave in about an hour and 8 minutes. So I'm going to try to get a good practice session in, work on my high altissimo register. I'm going to, of course, work on long tones. I'm going to work on my method book and some of my repertoire. Um, focus on improving my embouchure, making sure I got straight lines here, and surrounding the mouthpiece with my lips, and also keeping my chin down. I'm going to keep this down, force my muscles to get down. I don't want to have a smiling embouchure. I want to have down. And, I'm not too sure about how the embouchures between brass and reed, uh, if there's a problem in doing both. I remember in high school, I don't know if my band teacher was just encouraged me to stick with one instrument, or if there was actually some truth to this. But he was saying that it's actually not good to have multiple embouchures. I'm not too sure on the validity of that, though. He was a little bit. See, I switched instruments a lot. I switched from percussion to trombone, and then I wanted to play a sax, and so I just think he was just trying to set his foot down and make sure I stuck with trombone. He said, like, you kind of have, a lot of the stuff, there's a jack of all trades and a master of none. But like, I really love music, and I'm pretty sure he's played multiple instruments too. So I think it's more of the do as I say, not as I do things. Because he played guitar, he played trombone. I'm pretty sure he's played other instruments. I mean, he's a band teacher. My goal is to make a living off of music, and I should understand at least 3 different instruments: a reed instrument, a brass instrument, and a keyboard. And I also understand strings, so I should be able to understand reeds, brass, keyboards, strings, and percussion. Which those are all instruments I've learned to some degree. I'd like to get proficiency in at least 3 of those. So, it's like a brass instrument, a keyboard instrument, and trombone, clarinet, and piano. Those are the 3 that I really want to be proficient with at a professional level. Clarinet, definitely like to use as I just started clarinet a couple weeks ago, so uh, I'm going to see how far I can take this. It's kind of a benchmark for me, because when I learn something new, I'm able to bring everything I've learned up to that point and put it into this new thing. Whereas if I learned this to begin with, it would have been a lot different. Like when I was learning trumpet, that was my first instrument. Well, saxophone and then trumpet. But trumpet I spent the whole year on. So when I was learning trumpet, it was I had to learn a lot of new things. But with clarinet, I have to learn new things, of course, but I'm applying knowledge I've already gained through other instruments. So, interesting experiment, at least. And I'd really like to focus on this instrument, bring it up through symphonic band and orchestra, and work on auditioning every year. Even if I don't think I'm ready, I'm gonna audition anyway. I'm at least gonna prepare for the if I'm gonna find out what I need to prepare, one, and then I'm gonna prepare for it, and then I'm gonna do as much as I can up until the date, and then I'm gonna go to the audition. I'm gonna use it as a learning experience, because even if I don't even if I do terribly out of the audition, uh, you know, at least you can use it as a learning experience. I can use it as, okay, I've done the audition. Next time I'm going to try to do better. And, I'm going to use that as a learning experience. I'm not really focused on, if I get the scholarship, that's great. That's awesome. I'd love to get a scholarship. And also, working with the teachers and the music department, that is part of, that to me is more important than actually getting good at the instrument. Of course it's good to get good at your instrument and become proficient. But to me, it's more important to actually be working with people, be talking to people, have a dialogue between these people, and and get constant feedback, because these are people who are already earning an income on music. It's like it's to me, it'd be awesome to be a performer and to be able to earn a living as a performer. That's a goal that I'd like to achieve. But realistically, I'd probably earn more reliable income as a teacher. And I enjoy teaching. I enjoy teaching people. It's really enriching to me as a person. And it's also, it allows me to learn things from a different angle. Because when you teach somebody something, you're actually teaching yourself You're actually learning. You're not just just wasting your time. You're teaching somebody. You're 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 making yourself more proficient in what you're teaching. So and also it's really great when you see somebody go from absolute beginner to being very proficient. It's really kind of it's a great feeling when you see somebody actually have those clicking moments in their brain when they have those aha moments. It's really encouraging, especially with music, because I have a lot of experience with music, and it'd be nice to be able to take what I've learned and give it to other people, and then also use that to increase my level so I can come up to being the professional level and then learn more, and then the more I learn, the more I can teach. And to me, that's probably going to be the most reliable source of income for me. If I could make a living on being a performer, I would do that for a while, but I don't think I can maintain that for like I mean, even if I could maintain it for an entire year, I don't think I'd be able to maintain it for multiple years in a row. I'd want to take maybe a year or two off to teach. And that's I guess that's what a lot of people do. I'm gonna see. I can't really. It's not really set in stone. I'm not at that level yet. I'm just gonna focus on doing the best I can right now. I'm gonna be focusing on going to school, auditioning for that scholarship, and then I'll cross that bridge when I get there. As I watched a video, I'm also doing graphics design and art and drawing for concept art. There's a man on YouTube. He's Mark's drawing tutorials. He did a video a week ago. I just watched it yesterday, and he was very tired, much like I am right now, and because he had to go to bed, he had sleep deprivation, as most artists do, uh, and uh, and he was saying, like when you're coming up with a design, you want to come, you don't want to focus on drawing, the most detailed thing you can because you don't know what you're drawing yet. You have to come up with what you're drawing. And so he came up, he said, okay, I want to have a dwelling, and where is this dwelling? It's in a bat cave. Okay, why would anyone live in a bat cave? And he said, like, okay, so maybe outside of the cave, there's killer hornets that are like really like the size of my hand or something, and if you and the only or maybe the size of my thumb or something. And the only place that he's safe is in the bat cave because the bats eat the hornets, and so he can live there. And for some reason he can't go anywhere else. I don't know, but the thing is, he came up with a reason for this place to exist. It's realistic. It's believable. And then he said, okay, now we're gonna come up with the nitty gritty, the utilities. How does he get water? It's like he came up with a grocery list of all these things he needs to do, and he says, how is he gonna build that biothermal reactor? I don't know. We're gonna cross that bridge when we get there. And then he went down. He went forward. He kept moving forward, and that's how I feel about music. Is that I'll cross that bridge when I get there. As far as earning a living using my knowledge of music and using this instrument or any other instrument, you know, I'd like to keep it in the back burner, of course. I don't like doing things without knowing where I'm going. But the thing about the very small details of that, like I don't need to know, like certain things about what a professional musician does yet because I'm not even at that level yet. I have a lot of work to do. I still have to go to college. I have to, audition for that scholarship because a scholarship would certainly help. I mean, I'm working 4 days a week. It's backbreaking work. I'd like to still do that to earn an income on top of that. Because I feel that if you don't have a steady flow of income, I don't think you're able to really. I mean, you're going to run out of that money fast, unless you're really, really smart with your money, which I don't like to take that risk. I'd like to have a steady flow. And so if I do get a scholarship, I'd still like to supplement that income with doing dishes and filtering oil and all the other stuff I do at my work. But I don't think I can maintain that kind of work for 15 plus years, and it's minimum wage. I want to be able to use my knowledge of music because I've been studying music since I was a young child. I was the first thing, like I remember being happy in school was when I picked up that saxophone. I was like, this is an instrument. I was like, I can play this. And like I switched to trumpet, but the same thing. It doesn't really matter to me. The instrument every instrument is beautiful. Every instrument has its own unique sound, and I love music. There's a lot of musicians out there that are so attached to their instrument they don't really get outside of their section. They focus. Okay, I'm a sax player. I'm playing the sax section. They don't really when they're playing rests, they just kind of like they just count. They don't really listen to what's going on around them. And I've noticed this in a lot of people going through school. I've even in the college I've noticed people next to me they would be flipping through their phone, and I'm like, there's a lot of music going on. You can listen to the music around you. You can hear the context and why you're playing the parts that you're playing. It's like when you're listening to, and also when you listen to recordings, then you're able to listen to it with a completely unbiased, well, not unbiased, but a completely new kind of ear, because then you're not focused on playing. You can actually listen to the entire piece, so you can listen to the other sections outside of your section. And that's what my jazz band teacher's been trying to teach us this entire semester. He's saying, get outside of your section, gets out of your part. It's like you don't just trombone usually in concert music you'll just play like whole notes tied to other whole notes, and you'll just play them ba. But if you listen to the music, you hear that there's a ba 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 ba, going on, and there's like a whole phrase going on. It's like ba 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 ba. There's other instruments playing whole notes, but they're playing in different sections. They're playing it in different intervals. They're playing it in different time, and it's like you hear all of this together, and you can understand and you can play your part better because you understand that it's part of a bigger picture. An orchestra, a symphony, a jazz band, an ensemble, a combo, a quartet, it's all supposed to be one unified sound. And that's what you're trying to get I mean, see, a lot of students don't really understand this. I don't think they're ever told. I mean, they may be told this, but a lot, they go to class, they take out their instrument, they warm up, and they sit down and they wait for the band director to reach up for a stick and say, okay, from the top, and then you play your part as if there's nobody else playing, and a lot of people get into this habit. But the I think the most skilled and professional musicians understand that you're playing not just by yourself. It's not like like a lot of days now that we have digital music, and I've done a lot of digital music before in high school. I would stay up late at night working with MIDI and other digital music. Is that it's not just you just play this part and then you overdub another part and then you overdub part. That's not really how it works, especially with live music. I mean, you could do that with digital music. It usually sounds better. The thing is that with live music, that doesn't really work because you're not playing in an isolated room, because that only works when you're the only instrument there. There's actually like an electronic, you know, human the human brain and human consciousness is so complex. When you get all these people into a room, there's these people and you're all thinking, I need to play this part. But if you're all thinking, I need to play this part that's part of a bigger one, then you're all kind of in agreement and you all produce the sound, and there's a huge difference you can notice if you get a couple people and you have them play as if there's not there like as if they're just saying, okay, I'm gonna play this part. I'm gonna focus only on this. I'm not even gonna listen to the others. And then all four of those people do that. It would sound immensely different than if all four people are all like, you know, using visual cues, using you know like the breathing, to like start at the right spot, and also like working together so that they can use the retardando at the right time and all that kind of stuff. That's all what being a musician in an ensemble or orchestra or symphony is about. It's about trying to work together. And now I'm going to get started with my practice because I'm starting to ramble on. a lesson in the method book. It's lesson 5 of the Rubank. It's the tie dotted half notes. It's in the key. It's in the key of C, meaning it's in concert D. So I'm gonna play. First, I'm gonna work on my long tones, and then I'm gonna go through. The B flat C major scale, but in long tones. So. Wait. So if I play. No, I think I've got it backwards, huh? It's gonna be concert B flat, obviously. Concert B flat. Bring up my. I don't actually have scales printed out or in print, so I'm gonna have to open it up here. I was writing them down on manuscript paper, but I kind of got tired. Concert B flat, which is B flat C. I did half notes, lesson 5. I got G, A, G, F, E, F, G, E, F, G, F, E, D, E, F, D, E, F, E, D, C, D, E, C, B, C, D, E, C, 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 rest. And still in the same key. C, E, D, F, E, G, F, A, G, E, F, D, E, C, D, B, C, D, B, C, A, lower A, B, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, C, and then now I got whole notes, C, B, A, G, F. Low F, it's in the shallow mo. F, F, A, no, F, G, A, B, no, B is right here. Alright. And then C, A, B, G, A, F, G, C, D, F, E, G, F, D, C. And then I'm going to play this last one, and then I know these last two. And then it goes C, it's also the same key signature, C, D, C, B, A, G, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, F, G, E, F, E, D, F, E, D, C, B, C. And then this last one, this last one was all quarter notes, and then last note with this last C was a whole note. Goes back to quarter notes, same key signature. C, G, E, G, C, G, E, G, and then down to, and then lower that, so it goes B, G, D, G, C, G, E, C, and then goes down to A, C, F, A, G, C, E, G, F, D, B, G, C, E, C, rest. And then it goes on to tie, but I'm going to work on just that section for now. Beats per minute. Actually, let me set it to 56 beats per minute. Go a little slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down to one bar each. I'm going to play the first note of the next bar each time I do that. I'm going to do that, continue from that bar to the next bar. And then that bar. I do all three of those bars and then end with the first note of the fourth bar. Whew. Let's try to do that again. Let's try that again. Trying to get that all in one breath, because should be able to do this all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars in one breath on this. If I can do it all in one breath at 56, I could definitely do it at 120. Find spots to take a breath. Maybe after that fourth note. Right there. Duh. I have to make that note a little shorter. Now let's play that starting from measure 4, from bar 4, and then do the same thing. Just play the 4 notes with the first measure, the first note of the next bar held for a whole note. You gotta hold and focus. No, that's a D. I was playing the wrong note. Not an F. Now I gotta stop slurring. stop that. My ligature's a little out of whack here. Reed. Fixing this might help a little bit. I'm pretty sure I have this ligature set up right. I tried it the other way. That the ligature, the screw is supposed to be on the right. So right now it's on. But and there's a little cushion on this side. I'm guessing that's for the reed, for this style of ligature. Because usually when I see people on ligatures online, it has two screws, and it's on this side. But I think this one is specifically designed because when I turn it around and the screws on the right, this little part juts out and it doesn't really put the reed on properly. So I think I have it properly like this. There's a little cushion on this side. I'm thinking that's for the reed because I can't see why you need to cushion the mouthpiece right there. That right at least 4 times in a row. I mean, remember how it feels. Huh. We got about half an hour. Then I gotta get ready for work. Am I covering the holes? Alright, let's try that measure again. Do it a couple more times. Let's try it again. From the beginning. Air is escaping. Don't know if that helps. I know it helps with brass, but I don't know if it helps. It's just I get like tightness in the muscles and I'm not able to really form a tight seal over the mouthpiece. And my lips are getting numb. will work. This one that I used my utility knife for. Must have got a little bored there. So I'm going to put a little mark right there, and I'm going to circle D to C, because it's that transition that I'm having trouble with at the moment. I think it's just getting the hole covered, because this one, I have a little trouble with this C hole right there. I gotta make sure my embouchure is right at all times. That's when I'm tonguing it that I mess up. Relax my shoulders, make sure my back's straight, taking breath in from the belly button, pushing out to keep the air in its fast stream. Well, all this breathing has got to be really good for me. I just feel kind of lightheaded a lot recently, especially at work. I think that'll get better in time. Alright, this is great. I got my first really working on this bar right here. Let me try to do this a couple times before moving on. Almost. C there. Frère choc, soleil du, monsieur, mademoiselle. Anyway, this is not a French lesson. Focus on putting my air from the mouthpiece through the instrument, all the way down. Alright, let's go down to the B. My belly button there. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Go down a tick. Go to 54 beats per minute. It's kind of a shame this metronome only goes in increments of 2. It's kind of a shame. Like, you would think that you'd be able to go in increments of 1. It shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, 1 tempo. It shouldn't make a huge difference. What if I wanted to go 59 beats per minute? 59.5. I guess I'd have to use a computer. Yeah, let's go down to 54. Breathy noise before each note when I'm tonguing. concert B flat, concert C, concert C. Alright, let's try from the top. It's getting too quiet. Alright, one more a long tone, and then I think I'm gonna take a little rest and then go to work. Alright, I think that's enough for tonight. Really need to practice trombone. If I get back from work, it'll probably be too late. Yeah, tomorrow, after I do some cleaning, I'll practice the trombone before I practice the clarinet. Yeah, I need to work from my Arbenz book. I need to work on my tone for trombone. I need to work on preventing my buzzing sound, because I have like some air leakage. I have the same problem with clarinet. I need to really focus on my embouchures. See, the embouchure for brass instruments is quite a little bit different, but it still involves keeping a tight seal around your mouthpiece, and I think I need to work on that. My lip muscles, I haven't been used for about 10 years, and even then, I really didn't practice as much as I should have in high school. So it's been 10 years. I'm getting back into music. I'm trying to do it right this time. I'm 27 years old. You know, I'm only getting older, but you know, there's an old Chinese proverb that says, if it takes 100 years to grow a tree, then you should have planted it yesterday. But it's better to plant it today than to plant it tomorrow. If you forgot to plant it yesterday, then at least, my dad always says, it takes what it takes, and you can't finish if you don't start. So if you don't start, you're never going to achieve it. I mean, even if I spend my whole life trying to become a professional musician and teacher, which I don't think it would take my whole life, I think at some point I would be able to earn an income, like, either through performance or through teaching or as long as I'm, inching my way forward, even slower than a snail's pace, it's infinitely better than not doing it at all. Because if I just took this instrument and just gave it away or sold it, and I took that trombone, I gave it back to the college, and I just, gave it back, and I completely gave up on music and said I'm never doing music ever again, which I don't think is possible because I'm kind of predisposed to music, and I naturally gravitate towards it at some point, no matter what the instrument. For a while I was playing guitar. I really love guitar, but I really wanted to play an wind instrument because I really enjoy the whole concept of using your breath and your core, and I think it's a lot better for me as a human being. You know, I enjoy string instruments. I enjoy playing guitar. I have a violin. I haven't practiced forever. Well, not forever, but it's been years. 2008, I was attempting to learn violin. I need to get a new bow for sure. It was a $60 violin, but it was the sound quality of the violin was actually pretty good. It was from Musician's Friend. I got a similar. I got a $60 guitar once that had an amazing sound. It was a Dreadnought. It had an amazing sound for a $60 guitar, and I think Musician Friends, they have deceptively cheap instruments, and I mean, there has to be a better. I mean, obviously, if you can afford it, you could probably find a better one. But I'm just saying that guitar really sounded good for $60. Really simple, elegant design. It was just really simple, and it sounded great. I mean, even professionals who played the guitar said this is a pretty good guitar. And it's $60. It's like I gave it to my oldest brother, so it has a good home. I hope he's playing it. He used to play bass, and I hope he's playing it. Or if not, he can at least give it to one of his sons when they are old enough to have a full size guitar. Because little kids have trouble. They have to get a child guitar. Hey, I can hold a clarinet like a guitar. But like last time I was working on violin, I was working on just playing a solid, um, getting my position right, holding it, and making sure I had the correct bow technique. I was trying to get long tones, and I was trying to get staccato right. And I was trying to get the bow technique. The bow was breaking. I definitely need some new rosin. The rosin like crumbled, and like I used like the last of it last time on the bow. But it definitely needs a new bow. And from the reviews I saw, they said the violin was great for the price compared to other similarly priced violins. And the only thing wrong with it was that the bow that came with it was really cheap. I I mean, just like I have a mouthpiece on the way for stock bows, stock mouthpieces. They usually, from what I've heard, aren't. They're just garbage. Uh, so if I wanted to play violin again, which I might eventually, my sister's holding on to it. She might want to play it. I'd get a new bow for it, and apparently with violins, the older they are, the better. So I guess it's like a fine wine. So I guess it's been aging for a couple of years. Might need new strings, but I don't know. I'll have to see. I haven't taken it out for a couple of years. Um, but right now I'm focusing on the clarinet. I'm going to be focusing for now and all summer on getting ready for symphonic band and auditioning, because I think I can audition. I don't know if it's in the spring or in fall, so I might have to wait till spring. But if it's in the fall, I'm going to go for that audition. I'm going to prepare for it. I'm going to find out what I need to prepare for it. Or for now, I did Google, and they might just have you play some scales and like chromatic scales and major scales and minor scales, and they might just have you play some sight reading, and they also might have you play something you prepared on your own. And I downloaded a PDF that said B flat clarinet audition, so and it looked like it demonstrates a wide variety of the capabilities of clarinet. Oh, excuse me, and the clarinetist, from what I just from looking at it, and that'll keep me busy over the summer and in the fall for clarinet. For trombone, my focus is to go through the Arbenz book and focus on my embouchure, and of course the whole for clarinet across the board, and for trombone my embouchure, and also having a solid left hand and also relaxing my right hand, so I can produce rapid movement with the trombone, and working on my octave slurs, and and my siren on the mouthpiece, just going like chromatically, doing that. On violin, I need to get that. Posture and form correct, and also get the basic fingering at the first position down, and then once I get the first position down, move to the second position. Um, for piano, I need to go through my Bergmuller etudes. I have them somewhere around here. Bergmuller etudes I was working on. Last time I was working on piano, I did the second etude. I think it's called La Arabesque. I performed it, and my teacher said I performed it with great balance and great technique. Um, and he was a professional pianist for in Europe for about 15 years, and he was a good teacher. And he's I see him around the music department all the time. I nod to him and say hi and stuff. Uh, I want to continue with piano if I can in the fall. If all goes well, I'll be pretty busy with music in the fall. I'll be taking jazz band, symphonic band, piano 3, and music theory B, the second semester of music theory, because I haven't taken music theory in a while, but I can't retake it. And from when I was taking it, a lot of it was completely review to me. So if I got the book and I reviewed all the stuff we covered in music 2A, which is the first class, then I think I'd be ready for 2B and musicianship, which is ear training. Those should be solid classes. Over the summer, I'm going to be taking voice, elementary voice. My sister's been taking voice for a really long time. She's about ready to move on to opera, I think. I've been encouraging her to, because I think she's a little shy. I think she's a little shy about moving on to opera, but I think that she would really enjoy opera. She loves soprano and alto. Um, but yeah, I've been encouraging her to move on to opera, since she's at the really advanced level, and I think that opera would get her ready for a professional level, because me and her, out of everyone in our family, we're the only ones who continue with music past high school. And even though I feel a little ashamed that I kind of gave up on music for a while, I was just playing guitar. I didn't really take it seriously. I like, and the whole thing is that I never really, with guitar, I was only playing by myself. I like playing in a group, in a formal setting. I really like classical, but I like jazz. I like jazz also. The thing is that working with others is how you improve the most. And I agree. I think symphonic band will really push my clarinet up to a level where I could start thinking about going towards a professional level, and working with the symphonic band, and continuing to do my at-home practice, of course. It's just I feel like I need to push myself and also organize myself. Like, I should be able to play these instruments. I mean, I should be able to play clarinet, trombone, violin, and piano. But the thing is that there's only so many hours in a day, and I do have to go to work and do school. So I don't know if there is a violin class in the fall. I think I'll take that as well, maybe instead of music theory, and that would keep me really busy for the fall. But I would only be working 4 days a week, on the weekends at night. So during the day, I would have that. That means that for 4 instruments, I would have to practice and I practice 1 hour each, with a break in between. That would probably take around 6 to 8 hours. So I guess if you have 8 hours, if I get off work at 12:30, you know, uh, you know, uh, watch some instructional videos on my instruments, or watch X Files or something. Uh, After work, then go to bed. Wake up around 11 a.m. or so. Have breakfast, have coffee, brush my teeth, start with the clarinet for an hour. After doing that, take a rest period, and I could stagger having a wind instrument to a non-wind instrument. So I could do clarinet, take a break, maybe 15, 30 minutes. So So that would be 12 p.m., take a break, 30 minutes, or maybe take an hour break even. 1 o'clock, play piano for an hour. And then take another hour break. So it'd be, so 11 to 12, break. 1 to 2, break. 3 to 4, trombone. And then 4 to 5, break. 5 to 6, violin. And then take a break until work, go to work. Now that'll work on my 4-day work week. During school, I would be focusing on getting into school and taking my lessons. So I think I can do it. As long as I focus and organize myself and stick to that schedule where in the morning I wake up, wake up at 10 in the morning or so, you know, have my breakfast, have my coffee, maybe go outside for a walk or check the mail or something. Come back, hour, maybe longer, maybe shorter. But I'm going to be focusing on during that hour. I'm only doing that instrument, and then take a break. And the break could be anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. So I could, it would vary depending on the day and how tired I am, because I do need that recovery period, and I do need a break period to switch my mind over to another instrument. And I think if I do that, I'd be able to progress rapidly on each of my instruments, and I could take what I learned from this instrument, bring it to the other instrument, and so on and so forth. I think that'll do it for the fall. I don't know. I might have to start doing that. I'll have to gradually get into that. So right now I'm just focusing on clarinet and trombone. So I can try to split that into each day. So I can have an hour each day at least. Um, over the summer I won't have a trombone unless I can afford it. I don't think I will. I need to get a car. So I'm only going to have clarinet. Maybe I could start practicing the violin again, or work. I know I really need to get back into piano. So I could have clarinet and piano, and I do have a keyboard right over there, which is not as good as a piano. But I will have access to a practice room at the college because I will be taking voice. So I think that'll be pretty good for over the summer. And now I need to get ready for work. So I think that was a pretty good practice session. I'll see you later.